Space, the final frontier. I'm building the USS Enterprise. Hi, I'm Faded. Welcome to Maker Monday. This thing came out, this gigantic box, and I was lucky enough to pick one up. And I'm gonna build it now. I'm super excited. Yeah, this came out Friday, 4 days ago. I wasn't able to get to a store until Saturday, and it was the last one they had. The day after Black Friday, this was, so it was kind of busy in there. They had the most staff I've ever seen them ever have. It seemed like everyone was working, but the store was full. I walk in and I say, "Hey, I'd like to pick up the Enterprise," and they're like, "Great. Let us get that for you." And then the person next to them's like, "It's the last one we have in stock." And they call to the person in the back, who brings out a giant unmarked box, other than a print label that says, or a stamp that says "ready to ship," and a Sharpie saying the word Enterprise. So they just, and a big warning label saying "don't put this out until November 28th," whatever day it came out, 29th. It would have been 27th, right? Yeah. What is time? Anyway. I'm gonna switch to the other scene. Because this box doesn't fit on the overhead camera. It doesn't even fit on this camera, does it? I'm bumping cameras here. No, it doesn't even fit on this camera. If I put it all the way back here, my stuff's in the way. Whatever. This is what I'm building. As you can see on the back, it's got it comes with a stand, or you build a stand. It's got these members of the Enterprise. There we go. We've got Geordi, Worf, Troy, Data, Picard, Riker, Guinan, Crusher, and Wesley. And the saucer separates, and I think that's supposed to be the captain's yacht that comes off. And yeah, I want to build it. It's like 30 bags. So I took them all off and sorted them, so I didn't have to worry about them. Let's just put that down there. I'm going to mute to take out the first bag. And there was a bonus bag and some long rods that I think we're going to need at some point, considering they came in the box. But I'll set those aside. So, I'm using a slightly new mic setup. My mic is here. It's right off camera here. And it's actually in this camera shot. It's right here. But I'm hoping that this will be more consistent audio as I'm here building and talking toward the camera, toward the microphone, instead of having the mic be over here and I'm talking over to the side. I also noticed as I was unpacking the stuff that the plastic bags are still here, but now there are small paper bags in them. So Lego is slowly transitioning to get away from plastic bags. Anyway, I've got my instructions here. This came with 2 instruction books that are pretty much equal in length. Yeah. But it doesn't seem like... I don't know. I haven't looked ahead. With the Rivendell books, it was 3 separate books of different length, because you could start from any one of them because you were building three separate, distinct pieces, like sections. So you could give someone book one and say, here, you get to build the tower. Give someone build two and say, here, you get to build the bridge over the river and that gazebo thing. And then keep book three for yourself because you want to build the main building. We've also got a sticker sheet. And if you've seen any reviews for this set or anything online, or if you've seen talk about this set online for the past month or so since it was announced, you might be aware that there's a typo on this. I'm actually going to zoom in on it here. So, of the elements here, we've got number 15 here, the plaque for the USS Enterprise. This goes on the bridge. Get real close in here. With this camera does not have fantastic resolution or fantastic sensor, so you're probably not going to be able to read it. Actually, you can probably make it out. Let me get something sharp to point with. It reads USS Enterprise, Galaxy Class, Starfleet Registry, NCC 1701D, to boldly go where no one has gone before. That's right, they misspelled boldly in the slogan of the entire series in the first Star Trek set. They misspelled boldly. I don't even know how, like, spell checker didn't catch that, because I don't think boldy is boldy a word? Maybe. Anyway. Let's go. Now we'll go all the way out. So let's crack into bag one. Oh, actually, before we crack into bag one, let's go through our book here. Yeah, they're using more paper bags. I wish they would use even more. Get the builder app. Okay. The manual has a bunch of LCARs. This is in the style of all of the displays, computer screens in Next Generation. I'm gonna read the English section up top. Space, the final frontier. Oh, this is just the opening quote. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise, its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. You have the bridge. Set in the 24th century, Star Trek The Next Generation, 1987 to 1994, charted a bold new course in the Star Trek universe, all in the spirit of the original series. With Captain Jean-Luc Picard at the helm, the diverse crew aboard the USS Enterprise NCC 1701-D trademark discovers ordinary new worlds and faces legendary foes. As representatives for the United Federation of Planets, their goal is to promote and evolve peaceful diplomatic coexistence with civilizations everywhere. Through their hopeful vision of the future and innovative technology, the show, the Starship, and its crew have inspired generations of Star Trek fans. Okay, so, has Paramount trademarked USS Enterprise NCC 1701-D? Or did they just trademark the registry, NCC 1701-D? And why? I mean, I know why, because they can. First ever LEGO Star Trek model. As one of the longest running sci-fi franchises on TV and in movies, Star Trek has earned its iconic status in the genre. Starship Enterprise models have always been fan favorite collectibles, and for the first time ever, we're beyond excited to welcome this version to the LEGO Icons collection. Without further ado, boldly go as we present the USS Enterprise NCC 1701-D trademark. Hey, Destiny, how are you? A star and star. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Okay. So they mention that it gets its. Okay, they mentioned the history of the ship in universe. 4 famous missions from 6 episodes. I don't. Okay, so they list 4 different stories here. Encounter at Farpoint episodes 1 and 2. It's the first mission, the first 2 episodes. It's not great, but it's the first episodes, so it makes sense that they would that they'd listed here. The Inner Light is one of the most fantastic episodes of Star Trek, but it has very little to do with the ship itself. Unification Parts 1 and 2, which is not my favorite 2-parter, but I understand that it's popular. Hey. Oh, is it ever a pilot? Oh yeah, definitely. And All Good Things, the series finale. So, actually, this makes sense. They've listed the first 2 episodes, one of the best episodes of Star Trek, according to most people. The 2-parter that has Spock in it, and the finale. Okay. They don't mention. I guess Encounter at Farpoint has a fair bit to do with the ship because it's introducing the ship and the crew. So they show off a bunch. It shows the undocking sequence. So that makes sense. But, like, the other episodes don't have much to do with the ship itself. Okay, so we've got some specs on the ship. These are I'm assuming these are from the technical manual, because I don't know that the length of 2,103 feet is ever specifically mentioned anywhere in the series. Maximum warp 9.9. Is that true? One of the 2 times? Yeah. They do only show star separation twice, don't they? And they use the same footage for both of them. Is maximum warp... Does it ever make it to 9.9? I thought it makes it to, like... Oh, okay. I thought it only made it to, like, 9.8 or something. 9.9 warp speed. A warp factor of 9.9. Which, warp 1 is the speed of light. And warp 10 is the theoretical limit of the fastest you can go. But it's never actually defined. I don't think it's ever actually defined, other than it might be defined in some novel or a technical manual or something. But I think the warp scale is logarithmic. So warp 2 is... Or like, going from warp 1 to warp 2 is not nearly as fast as going from warp 2 to warp 3. I don't know. Cruising speed is warp 8. Warp 10 is not lizard speed. Warp 10 is time travel speed. Thank you. Warp 8 is cruising speed until that one episode in season 7 when warp 5 becomes cruising speed, because they going into subspace is harmful to the space environment or something. So then warp 5 becomes cruising speed unless there's an emergency situation, in which case there's always an emergency situation. You don't have an episode of Star Trek without someone calling on the Enterprise because it's the only ship in the sector. Okay, we get little notes on each of the crew members here. Warp 8 was manufacturer's cruise speed, I guess so. So we've got Jean-Luc Picard holding his glass of tea. Lieutenant Commander Data, who has a cat and is an android. Lieutenant Worf, who... Wait, hold on. Oh, I guess... No. I guess the word lieutenant must be the same in French and Spanish. Or is the word lieutenant the same like English and Spanish? I don't know. I'm wondering why Worf and Riker only have 2 names listed and all of the others have 3. Voyager had a warp 9 cruising speed, probably. And Deep Space Nine had a orbiting Bajor cruising speed. How fast could the Defiant go? I think that was warp 9 cruising, right? Because it was a warship, primarily. But it would tear itself apart if it went much faster. Anyway, I'm getting distracted, but just talking Star Trek. That's gonna happen. Worf, who has a phaser, because he's a Klingon and only knows violence in this series. Riker, who has a trombone, and the unexpected is our normal routine. When did he say that? That sounds like an Encounter at Farpoint quote. Like he's talking to Wesley about it, right? I zoned out. What's a Star Trek? So many jokes I could want to come up with and can't make any of them land. Never mind. I do like Troy's quote here, which is equipped to, I think, Worf? Would you like to talk about what's bothering you, or would you like to break some more furniture? Defiant was an NX designation, yes. Because it was an experimental warship. Dr. Beverly Crusher there, Lieutenant Commander Geordi LaForge. Guinan, who has only one name, not repeated 3 times. And she's carrying a bottle of something that is green. Do you not recognize that Riker quote? That's gotta be like he's talking to Wesley Crusher in season 1. The unexpected is our normal routine. Something like that. I don't know. And Wesley Crusher, he's holding one of his experiments. He's a boy genius. He made a little anti-grav generator there, and it's causing the pip at the end to float. That's what that's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be some sort of weird cannon. This is all just beginning. We've only charted 19% of our galaxy. The rest is out there just waiting. That is absolutely a season 1 quote. Wesley is talking to some alien and he's on the bridge and he's super proud about it. And yeah. Anyway, oh my god, there's more. From the LEGO Icons design team, we wanted a model of substantial size that could balance on a single display stand arm. The sausage section was designed with angled panels that add density to the disc. And to get its oval shape right, we developed 2 new LEGO bow elements. That must be these, the long rods that we have. The 2 warp engines. Oh no, 2 new bow elements. Maybe it's not these. The 2 warp engines connected to thin curved pylons, and the attachment of the detachable saucer disc was another challenge in terms of model stability, but the sausage separation function, although rarely used in the series, is such a key feature. We applied sideways building with plates, especially in the neck area, to achieve the right sturdiness. The original filming model is covered with windows, even on the underside. Here, they're printed on the saucer section's rim, and as a finishing touch, we paid attention to the ship's navigational deflector to find the best look for the windshield element's geometry. Alright. Oh no. How to hold the model. Don't hold it by the sides. Hold it by the centers. Got it. Huh. That makes me worried that this is fragile once it's built. So, yeah, alright. Alright, number 1. Build a Beverly Crusher. Absolutely. There we go. Alright, my first thought on the paper bags. They're great for sustainability, kind of hard to open. That's fine. Alright, 1 Beverly Crusher. We want mouth open, smiling with teeth viewable, or just smiling mouth closed. They're showing just smiling mouth closed, which I think I'm leaning that way too. And where's your... You have a medical tricorder somewhere. Here it is. There we go, 1 Beverly Crusher. Oh, damn it, I put the tricorder upside down. What kind of Star Trek fan am I? Jeez. Alright. we don't have anywhere to put Dr. Crusher right now, so go stand over here. As the Enterprise's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Beverly Crusher always carries her medical tricorder with her. That is not true. She does not always have a tricorder on her. She just commonly has one on her. Alright, I gotta move this box out of the way. There we go. Very large box. Destiny, I'm excited to see what game you're going to redeem here. Oh, we're building the stand for the characters now. Okay, cool. Absolutely. What is dragging? The tape on the box was coming undone. All right. We need a 3x2, and we need a lot of these. These are 4x3s with a line of pips in the middle. Then we need an ice blue 8x2. Pretty sure she wanted people to remember me, not remember my tricorder. I mean, that was a later character development, right? Early on, she was all about that tricorder. Couldn't stop talking about it. I have to do a sticker already? I have to do a sticker already. Great. Love it. So I'm going to put this on here so I can hold it. Let's zoom way in again. I really wish I could just set like zoom levels and just have two things so I just could click once instead of having to whatever. This app was free. I shouldn't complain about its features. Sticker number 11. Let's do it like this. Beautiful. All right. Now we know why she got replaced by Dr. Pulaski for one season. She just wouldn't shut up about her track. She needed a break from her kid. That's why. No. Dr. Crusher wouldn't shut up about her tricorder, so they replaced her with Dr. Pulaski, who just wouldn't shut up about Data. Just like, what is this human robot doing? Look, Mr. Data. Having no context means I can't tell if you're joking or not. I'm always joking. She did get replaced with Dr. Pulaski for one season. I think the actress just had something else, like they were busy or something. I don't remember. Making the tricorder sound like the coolest thing ever. The tricorder is very cool, actually. The tricorder, if you have no context for Star Trek at all, the tricorder is a device where you can hold it up to something to scan it. Like a human or a rock or whatever. And the tricorder will tell you everything you need to know about it. You hold it up to a human and you can tell if they're human, what type of blood they have, if they have any parasites or diseases or afflictions or anything at all. Yeah. Or you hold it up to someone who looks human and you're like, this isn't a human, this is a Klingon dressed as a human. And then everyone gets all shocked or something. The tricorders are magic, absolutely. But you know, it's just a tool. It's not something that the characters like were that like loving about. Dr. Pulaski's treatment of Data always set me on edge. Yeah. I think it's because, well, season 1 Data was like very Pinocchio, I want to be a real boy type thing. And they needed to give him more character development. So they needed to give him a foil. And like him having a friend in Geordi means that he doesn't get asked questions about who he is or his nature or anything like that. So they needed to give him someone that would challenge him in a way. Yes. Oh, we're building the ship already. Cool. So yeah, I'm not really... I don't think I liked Pulaski as a character that well because I don't remember anything about Pulaski that isn't just she was there to play off of these other characters. I don't remember anything about herself. I get the need to challenge him from a story perspective, but she was just always a dick about it. Yeah. Yeah, the whole data thing kind of weirded me out at the time, because, like, if someone tells you that their name is pronounced Data, and you pronounce it Data, and they correct you, and you say, what's the difference? What the hell's wrong with you? Like, obviously it matters, or he wouldn't have mentioned it. And she should know the difference between a name and a word. do like that she was able to convince him to kick that guy's butt in Stratagema. Stratagema? Stratagema, yes. Certainly has certain modern parallels. Yeah, I guess that was intentional then, wasn't it, huh? Got this thing. And we put 3 giant tiles down. I don't think it was on people's radar in the 80s. I guess that's true. If it's like parallel, if it was supposed to be a parallel about like respecting people and calling them the name that they tell you, like accepting them for who they are instead of saying that's stupid, the word data is a word that can also be pronounced data, so I'm gonna call you data. Like, it might not be about names specifically, but just like accepting someone for who they are. And how she didn't. Until he like put his foot down and said, no, that's not my name. Off. I gotta do something about... Alright, 1 second here. That's just in the way. The glare's still there. Let me do this. No, that's not doing anything. Cool. Just deal with that, whatever. I do want to say some of the writing in Trek was quite lazy, but like we need the name of a strategy game that this alien plays. What are we gonna call it? Stratagema. It doesn't even like make sense to be named that because was Stratagema a human game or was it from a different alien culture? I guess they never go into that. I've always assumed it was like an alien game, but I guess it requires the contestants to have 10 fingers. So maybe it is a human-invented game, so being named off of the word strategy makes sense. I think it may be my favorite episode of Season 2. What's the A plot of that episode? I don't even remember, because that's the B plot. What's the rest of the crew doing? I assumed it was Alien. Yeah, me too. I guess that's something that's always bugged me about a lot of the Star Trek naming things is it's, especially original series, they will name things as if a human has named them, basing it off of Latin roots. When, why would a Klingon name something based off of Latin? Why would a Romulan name their planets Romulus and Remus? What? That's a direct reference to human culture. Why? How did they come up with that? The war games with Riker on the derelict ship and they get ambushed by a Ferengi ship. Right. Yes. The guy's like, you can't win with that ship. There's nothing on that ship. Oh, and Wesley cheats by bringing his school project on board, right? I'm skipping ahead. I need this piece here. There we go. Okay, so I've done these two. I still need this. I'm just gonna dump these because it's silver brick. Hey Molly. You're not that late. I'm still on bag 1. Thank you for the wishing of an affiliate anniversary. It's not something I care too much about, but Twitch was like, hey, what day do you want people to click a button about it? And I'm like, whatever, sure. Definitely bag 1, yes. And we've mostly just been talking track. Is that his project? Right, yes, his project is a warp drive. It gives them warp speed for like a quarter of a second or something. And the strategy guy's like, that ship's not warp capable, what the hell are you talking about? And then Wesley's like, well, suppose I cheated a little. And then everyone's like, you cheated, you shouldn't have cheated, good job. Molly, currently we're talking about the episode where they play Stratagema. Because we built a Beverly Crusher and then got distracted talking about tricorders and then Pulaski and Data and yeah. Molly, maybe you remember. Can you name me anything about Dr. Pulaski that relates to her character and not to someone else? Because we don't remember anything, any character development about Dr. Pulaski other than she has a weird relationship with Data where she like hates him or something. It's pronounced Data, not Data. Pulaski dated Riker's dad. Okay, yeah, but that's still just relating to other characters. Name me something about Pulaski that doesn't reference someone else. I don't think there is anything in that character about just her. I think her entire deal in that whole season is to help develop other characters. She only had one season, yeah, but Esri only had one season, and Esri is a Trill who is quirky, spunky, forgetful, clumsy, talks herself into a corner. Like, she has character to her. She was only there for one season. What's Pulaski's deal? Although I suppose by that time they had a whole lot of experience writing characters. Esri had a whole episode about going back to see her parents, or her mother and her brothers on whatever mining planet, whatever. And also, it turns out Miles is there. What part of the ship am I building? Well, I built the stand so Beverly can have a place to be. And then I'm building it looks like I'm building engineering. And the supports for the nacelles? I don't know all the terminology. I think the battle bridge is also here. But, like, this is gonna be a while. Where am I? I'm here. Alright, these go on the side here. Okay, so we're making an entire area that is smooth. We've got tiles in the bottom and sides. So we're going to be sliding something in and out of here. No idea what. Alright, so we built Beverly Crusher. What's everyone's favorite Beverly Crusher themed or central episode? I do very much like oh god, what's it called? The one where she's trapped in the alternate the universe that's collapsing. 25, nice. Though my favorite with her, that might be. Remember Being might be my favorite of her episodes. There's nothing wrong with me, there must be something wrong with the universe. Yep. Computers state the nature of the universe. The universe is an ovoid spheroid approximately 104 meters in diameter. What? It's a good episode. There's the one where late in season 7, I think, where she and Picard are captured. Like, they were supposed to be beaming down to do, like, peace negotiations, and they were captured by the opposing faction, who links their minds together. That was a good episode, I feel. Because there was a lot of character building late in the series. getting a whole bunch of tiling here. Alright, this goes here. I wanted to find some Star Trek tunes for the music, and then I realized that it would get so copyright strike, even if it was just like the Enterprise hum for 2 hours. Dr. Crusher seemed to get a lot of mystery-themed episodes. Yeah, absolutely. Flashback to that one episode where she's in a room full of dead bodies and they're all sitting up. Was that the one where the whole ship was hallucinating? The one with the murdered Ferengi who developed metaphasic shields. Oh, yes! The one... Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's a good episode, Heller. I forget the name of it. Where there's like the group of 4 scientists from different cultures, and they're all trying to develop these shields together. Or no, the Ferengi developed the shields or something, but then was murdered. I need to watch Next Generation again. I don't remember how that episode goes. Or I'm conflating with two things. I keep going back to... I keep conflating in my head with the Deep Space Nine episode with... the guy who was relighting the star? No, that wasn't Deep Space. That was a TNG episode. I liked when she took command versus the Borg while everyone else got captured. It was the Ferengi who developed the shields. Right, okay. And then they didn't work because sabotage occurred. And then the Ferengi died due to mysterious circumstances. And then Beverly's like, no, yes. Beverly's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. This should have worked. Why didn't it work? And then test them herself, and it turns out one of the other people who died didn't die, but was instead the murderer. Or something. Alright, bag 2. There we go. Extremely accurate summary. Yeah, it jogged my memory, and I suddenly remembered way more about the episode. Because my mind works like that. I will remember nothing about it and then go right, and then go, oh yes! of course, and then know everything about it again. Alright, so there are 30 bags in this build. And there are only, what were there, 8 minifigs on the box? 9. Which means there's one figure in a little over every 3 bags. So we're unlikely to have another minifig today. Unless I speed up my building here. It's already 7. Or unless I go late. I could go late. There's so many of these arches. It's a little weird to use 2 L-shaped pieces like this instead of just using a 3x2, but I don't know, whatever. Maybe they needed the slightly more plastic to properly weight it. Just building stairs here, huh? Alright, and then this goes here. Great. Building giant flat tiles here. This goes on here. Am I not missing? Okay. I just guess it just goes on here and it just... Oh, okay. Because you need the angle there to be flush. That makes sense. I was wondering why there wasn't another pip going underneath it. Right, we get our ramps. There we go. All right, and then this goes here. This is a uniquely curved piece. So it's a 4-length total with an angle cut at the end. So one side has a curve going down a full block height all the way down across 4 studs. The other has a curve going down across 3 studs. So it's a steeper curve. Very specific curve here. Another one of them here. And that goes here. We have a wide curve here. And then just flat ramp here. Okay. Building more of the... I suppose this is the outside of the ship, isn't it? This is the curved section that makes up the neck. So this goes here. This ramp here, and then these 2 L's here. There are no extra pieces in bag 2 at all. Bag 3. So we do a rotate. I don't see this tiny dark gray piece. I'm probably just blind. I mean, I see it in light gray. That's not what I need, because I've got two studs in this color. Is it in the big bag? Is it still in the paper bag? No.
Let's go.
I think it might be missing a piece. Nope, here it is. It was underneath a tan 2x2. What happens if the piece is missing? I don't know. I probably have to go back to the Lego store and say, hey, I need this one specific piece. I hope you have it. Oh, we got some lore. Two secondary shuttle bays are located in the ship's neck, which is part of the secondary hull. The starboard bay is larger. And then again in French and Spanish. You know, we got some of Data's brother. Not that lore. Oh, it's sticker time again. I need this one. Put it on a thing. Sticker number 1. Ah, yes, the shuttle bay, of course. You were just telling me about that. Damn it. Good enough. The color matching on that is actually very close. It'll be hard to tell that it's not a sticker. Or it'll be hard to tell that it is a sticker. Alright. Take it off of this. This goes here. Okay. Then we had a whole bunch of ramps. All right. That clips into here. So now we kind of have our orientation of how this will be, because that's, if that's the bay door there. And I think this is going up, so the saucer will sit up here. Here's the neck, and then this is the rear of the... At least I'm thinking that's what it is, right? Probably. There, and we need another one of those truncated L blocks there. Alright, we need 3 of these 6x2. Two of these L's. One of those. Go, and then this goes here. This goes on top of that one. And then this whole brick goes like this. To make reverse stairs. Then a 4x1 brick. Not this ramp. Or is it that ramp? No, it's not this. It's this. Yes. No. Definitely need this. Need a curve. Not in small pieces here. Starting to sort these a little bit as I do this, because them being in a big jumble like this is not helping. Ramps. No ramps. Alright, where is this piece? It's here, it's in the small pieces that I disregarded earlier. This 3x1 brick-sized piece is in the small pieces. Alright, sure. Alright, where are we going now? These two together like that. Get some long ramps. Tall ramp. And one of the like slipper shaped things. There we go. And then another long ramp, but with cuts in the bottom. What? It's here. Okay. This gigantic thing goes on top here. So we've got a nice imposing wall on this side. Alright, set that aside. Get this. Get this. Hello, Molly's cat. What do you want? 100 million? Molly, you better do something to give your cat 100 million of something. Housemate's cat, you better do something to make your housemate give them 100 million of something. They obviously deserve it. Then we take this subassembly and set it aside also. Great. Based on their chat message, they could be a Binar in disguise. Oh no. Watch out, they're gonna steal your spaceship. That is a good point, Molly. Have you encountered any extremely realistic holograms who perhaps are inviting you to stay in the bar a while? Did I miss a piece? I missed a piece somewhere. Yep, sure did. Step 5 here. Here we go. More of these things. Nope, this one. I think Molly might be stuck in the holodeck. Like this. And this. Alright, build another sub-assembly. Whole lot of side pips in that. There we go. This goes here. There's obviously some weird internal structure because we've got side pips on both sides and the top, and then I guess ports in the bottom. What do you call the underside of a piece? Holes? Oh no, Molly, if you can hear us, try and get the train to New Birdform City. That was a weird episode. What's the name of the actor who plays the conductor in that? Because I like that guy. And I don't remember what else he's in. gonna have to look him up on IMDb later. What the hell? Alright, let's start with... Today we are building tall. I've definitely seen him in something else, the actor who played that conductor. And I don't remember what it was. Alright, piece goes up. Oh, and then this just goes on the side here. Okay. Sure. And then we just snap a whole bunch of pieces onto here now. Yeah, now we're building on here. Great. Let's start with the reds, so that'll be a good point of reference for everything. You were AFK. Oh, good. You made it out of the holodeck. We heard you were trapped in there by the Binar disguised as your cat. Or your housemate's cat. So, you know the episode with is it the Orient Express? I think it is. Where they're trapped in the holodeck, and the aliens they want to get to New Vertiform City. You did not meet Minuet? Okay. The conductor there is like checking their tickets. What's the conductor, the actor who plays them? What else have they been in? Because I feel like I've seen them a bunch. David Huddleston? Thank you. I look it up on my phone, but it's being used as a camera right now. I guess I could look it up on this one, but... Like the Mayor in Blazing Saddles. Thank you, yes. One of the Johnsons. That's definitely where I've seen him before. There we go, and then this goes... Yes, I know, you're right. One of the Johnsons doesn't narrow it down that much. One of the townsfolk of Rock Ridge, which is an identical... The Venn diagram of them and one of the Johnsons is a circle. What the hell am I doing here? This goes... This seems like it goes across here. Then these ramps go up next to it. Yeah, that seems right. Okay, then we get big ramps. Okay, so they've done a clever thing here. Earlier they told me to put 2 studs on this orange piece. Now they've had me build a thing that's just going to go on top, and they put a hole there. And that's so I can be damn sure that I'm lining it up correctly and not accidentally off by a piece. Because there's no reason for them to have done that. They could have made this flat, made that flat, and then said, just stick it on. But they made sure that you can't screw it up. There we go. Okay. This is the underside of the battle bridge. Or the top of the lower section, because then that's the underside there, and this is where it opens up. Have engineering here. Makes sense. So then I'm presuming this clip is to this is going to be where the saucer section docks. So it probably like slides in here and then clips down there. That makes sense. All right. That's the end of bag 3. Yep. What time is it? 7:43. How much do I want to build a Wesley? Kind of want to build a Wesley. How big is this bag? That's a big bag. Maybe I save Wesley for next week. I think I save Wesley for next week because that's a big bag, and I don't want to start a bag and not finish it. So this is it for the Enterprise for today. I'm wondering. I'm wondering if this is the center line here, where we're going to build out the same, but the bottom half of it, or if we're going to build an identical side to this that then snap together somehow. Because that would make sense for trying to replicate this edge. You'd want this side to be all the tops of pieces like it is here. So you'd want the side over here to be all the tops and pieces. So it would make more sense to like duplicate this but mirrored and then attach them together somehow, rather than just build off of here. So I think that's what they're going to do, which means the top section is going to slide into 2 of these. It's going to be like one double wide slot, I guess. and then clip in twice. That makes sense. But we'll find out next week. Hey Evo, how are you? Welcome. It is a little early actually. Do I want to? Screw it. I'm going late and I'm opening the before. Welcome Evo. I'm building the Starship Enterprise. This is bags 1 through 3 complete, and I'm about to open bag 4. Okay, so not all of the interior bags are paper. Some of them are still plastic. All right. All right, we've got torso, a head, pants, and hair. Okay, Wesley can either be smiling, like with a little smirk on his face, or he can be yelling, super afraid about something. Probably that the Traveler has taken the Enterprise to a different galaxy. That's a season 1 episode, right? This is the Next Generation Enterprise, yes. The 1701D. There we go. Alright, let's build his little school experiment here. Go. Then this goes here, and then a clear piece with a clip. All right, the text on this page says, Wesley Crusher, an avid young science prodigy, created the portable tractor beam generator as a science project, which he showed off once in the beginning of some episode, and it was not relevant to the plot, I don't believe. Maybe Trapatoon Worf and Riker in a Jeffries tube, who both wanted to play some sort of video game. Oh, right, yes. This tractor beam wasn't relevant in the episode it was in, was it? Oh, and it recommends just putting the tractor beam nearby. Don't have him hold it or anything. Just, like, set it down. F that, he's holding the thing. He's gonna hold it one-handed too. There we go. Probably not. Yeah, because I don't remember it other than, like, they showed it once. it wasn't like the Chekhov's gun of that episode. And I'm gonna have to go back and watch so much Star Trek again. Alright. You might never know when you need an emergency handheld tractor beam. That sounds weapons able as hell. I guess you could weaponize it. Depends on what you can do with it. If you can give whatever actual momentum, or if it's just like hovering. Because you might not be able to use it to like throw a projectile at a Klingon, but maybe you could drop an anvil on their head. But they'd also have to not notice it. You couldn't like slowly levitate it over their head while having them just stand there. Imagine a crack squad of Starfleet engineers tractoring enemies around the battlefield. Oh, okay. If you could pick up that amount of weight, sure. I was of the impression that it was like he's picking up a tricorder or something. Tractor Klingon into a Gorn. Oh, we're doing complicated curves. Hold on. Two of these. Two of these. One of these. Two of these. One of these. One of these. Okay. Step one is stack a bunch of small things. Put those small things on a curve. Put other small things on that curve. At weird angles. Put another curve on that curve. Okay, so there's some give into how much this piece can flex out. This one here is locked in though, so that's good. And then this all goes like that. Put more curve on this curve. Support the curve from above and below. Build more curve on the curve. Then put so much curve, you need 3 curves. You can't even believe how much curve is on this curve. You could call us a professor who doesn't know how to make their exams properly difficult, because we're going to grade on this curve. The groceries are ready to get picked up. Time to mosey on home. 1/2 impulse. Make it so, Heller. Have a good one. Need hooks. Even more curve. You thought we were done with curve. We'll never be done with curve. Running out of curve. There we go. Now we're building up over here. There we go. Pieces facing out there. All right, get a last 4x1. Get a Crusher family photo from the last cruise you were on. Nice. Still have my Wesley Crusher sweater themed knit cap. That's somewhere. I think it's in a bin from when I had to move everything in a haste out of the flooded areas of my apartment, and I never actually took it out of the bin. Go. You thought we were done with these curves, then we added another one. Oh, and this goes flat. What? This goes here? Okay, sure. 1x1 in the middle there. ramps. There we go. Did I skip something? Nope. Alright, then we're building out steps that probably aren't steps. Okay, let's start this. That right? Yeah. Big curve. Medium curve. Tiny curve. This here. Okay. Another one. Another tile. That's the wrong type of tile. They gave me a spare of the control panel on Wesley's handheld tractor beam, and I did not notice. There we go. Look at that, right? Yeah. And then more of this. There we go. Looks good. All right, we've got two. It's the gold bar piece, but it's black or dark gray. They go on both sides. Oh, this gets attached. We lay this down. Wait. Oh, it just goes like this. All right. Then we add more connective pieces. The ship's gonna be so big. Yeah, I should buy shelves. I'm gonna need somewhere to put it. There we go. All right, we do. This goes here. And we cover up all our shame here. Okay, so this piece is already here. And this piece goes here. This tile goes here. We put one long ramp here. Another one next to it. With a tile up here. Alright. Get everything? Yep. Alright, and that's going to be the end of bag 4. So this is going to be the arm that holds up the nacelle. And the saucer starts here. So even engineering is going to be pretty big. This doesn't show clear pictures of the scale of that, does it? Nope. Well, I guess we'll find out. 806. I think we call it here. And I'm just gonna have this sitting on my desk for a week, tempting me to build more of it. There we are. Nice side view so we can see the scale. This is without the saucer section attached. This is going to be big, isn't it? Trying to get a good... So let's do that. Alright, so that's going to do it for stream today. Thank you everyone for watching. Coming up on stream, we're going to have Islands of Insight on Wednesday. Right, I'm back to a 4-day schedule. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So no more streams on Tuesday, Thursdays, or Saturdays. Because I definitely need to not burn myself out on streams. So, on Wednesday, I'm going to be playing a puzzle game that Molly recommended, Islands of Insight. On Friday, I'm going to be playing Unfair Flips, trying to flip a coin, trying to flip heads 10 times in a row. I assure you that the game is more exciting than it sounds. And Sundays with Friends on Sunday, and more enterprise building on Monday. Thank you everyone for watching. I do very much appreciate it. Hope you had a nice time. If you want to help me out, you can follow me on Twitch, subscribe to me on YouTube. Those are the free things you can do. You can also leave a comment on YouTube, like the video, engage with it in some way. That'll help me out. youtube.com/@FadedOasis. That's where I put all my VODs and occasionally videos when I'm not streaming. You can also check out my Mario Kart World Megathon while you're there, where I raced every one of the 106 routes in Mario Kart World against the hardest bots in the game in a giant tournament. That's all in its own little playlist there, so you can just watch all of that. Yeah. Thank you for watching again. I do appreciate it. I will see everyone later.